Check, check. Testing, test. And welcome down to Dalmatnak Park for the first semi-final, the second semi-final. I'm not sure what we're referring to it as, but the other semi-final is happening concurrently to this one. All the action is here today. We have Cockburn versus Floreat, a game that we saw just 4 days ago. And as we know, the best thing about that is we get a bit of a narrative, which we'll dive into in a little bit, but also it means my prep work is slashed in half, which I thoroughly enjoy. Diving in there. And then a long ball forward, and we'll have our first goal kick of the day. It allows me to get all the admin out of the way. I am delighted to be joined by a man who commentated a few games last year. This year he's got his knee back in shape. He's been playing football on the Saturdays, and now that we've got a Wednesday game, he's managed to make it down and join me. Louis Greenwich, thanks so much for joining us. Are you looking forward to this one?
Oh, absolutely. We saw the game last week, which was a fantastic contest, a couple of late goals, and more of the same, please, Sean. Should be a great game.
Yeah, and more of the same. I think we will get. The one thing that we won't have is Philip Arnold. Obviously, the part of the narrative from that game was the red card to him for, firstly, a tackle on Jesse Lazaro, who he then berated for diving, and then picked up a second yellow himself for diving not long after that. Louis, how did you see that whole situation? It was great to watch, wasn't it?
Oh, it was fantastic. It's just a shame that Arnold's not out here tonight, so you wouldn't have even a bit more needle. But there's a lot of subplots going on. Obviously, Jesse Lazaro got the hot hand at the moment, and he'll be looking to get this Cockburn side over the line.
Well, Floreat with the early running, they have the first corner of the day. They'll look to take it to the near post, flicked on to the back post. Didn't catch quite who got that one, but they'll maintain possession and try and get a ball back into the box. As far as the sides go, there are a couple of changes to talk about. For Cockburn, the big news is Cam Edwards, the captain, is back in after a couple of weeks out with a calf injury. And Liam Murray, the man to drop down to the bench. While for Cockburn, Andrew Maranta was a little bit involved already so far in the early proceedings. He is in the side, and just checking my notes, Marco Santalucia and Ludovic Boy also into the side that lost on the weekend. Nelson Tashongo will be replaced, I'm sure, by Santalucia. Dean Evans and Philip Arnold are out. Obviously, Philip Arnold, we know. Louis, I know you're a bit of a friend of Dean Evans. Do you have any idea why he's missing today?
I don't, but they'll be ruining that miss. Floreat, he's probably the best set-piece taker in the league, the best set-piece taker in WA, And a man of that quality, any team would feel aggrieved to have him out. So Floreat will be looking to plug the gaps.
Certainly not only his set-piece taking ability that they'll miss, he demonstrated on the weekend his ability to hit them from range. Louis, I know that was a goal that you loved the sight of, and I said at the time, a goal, would it win them the league? It was a goal worthy of winning the league.
Yeah, definitely. As the ball comes into the back post, Lazaro looking for it.
And just headed away from him at the last there by Chris Soldaris. Well, he was one of the inclusions last week and kept his spot. The big battle that we really had last week that I really liked was Daniel Santich versus Liam Murray. That was just enthralling, and Liam Murray just so quick with his feet and such a good dribbler. That'll be one to watch. Any players in particular that you've got your eye on today?
I will just let this corner come in first, but I've got a couple on my mind yet.
Well, I've played it to Christian Santich, the brother of the aforementioned Daniel, who dinks one into the back post and a looping header over the bar, and we'll reset for a goal kick.
Well, that man, Christian Santich, the man you mentioned, definitely looking forward to him, and there's a big press from him. That'll get the home fans going.
Yeah, it's wonderful tackle from Christian. We saw him at the Top 4 Cup last year and best on ground, the Gary Morocci medalist, and just has that ability to just dictate the play and set the tempo. We love watching Christian anytime we get a chance, and a little slip there, one for the fans. David Araya.
Teles, another one at the back for Cockburn, a man who I'm looking forward to seeing. But Liam Murray, another man you mentioned, just fleet of foot, elegant, the sort of player where you can't teach the technique he has, and one to keep an eye out for, that's for sure.
Certainly. I think I forgot to mention, remiss of me, that the Cockburn side at home today, the Cockerels wearing their dark blue. They are attacking currently with the ball, the left of screen. Floreat in the white, heading to the right. Santich looks to pop that one up for De Silva, gets cut out, and Robbie Harding plays it back to a teammate who all he can do is hook that ball out of play. Saldaris with the clearance. And Woodcock looks to take the quick throw into Christian Santich, already heavily involved and just showing his adeptness on the ball and his balance. And as soon as I say that, Louis, that's just the classic commentator's curse, isn't it? He just kicks it straight out of play. Saldaris with the throw. Short, just off the chest there of the aforementioned inclusion into the squad, Andrew Maranta. Couldn't bring it under control, and Cockburn will try again. Back to Brecken Baker and Julian Teles. Well, you mentioned, and just such a quality player at both ends of the pitch when he needs to be. He went forward and scored a huge goal. He scored one of the goals of the season against Armidale. I don't know if you saw that one, Louis, striding forward from centre half. It wasn't one of those ones where you go throw the centre half forward and see if they can get on the end of it like he did on the weekend, sort of a scrambled goal. This one was just driving forward, 1-2s down the park into the penalty area and rifling it. It was quite a sight to see, and I know you're a fan of centre half striding forward as much as I am.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of those players, after about 5 minutes of watching him, you can see the quality. Obviously, players centre-back like that are a dime a dozen these days, and Cockburn are really benefiting from his form.
Just some mercurial work there from Christian Santich. He's found it back again. He's dancing around Palmer, dancing around Festa, one way and then the other, and trying to play a ball into the path of a teammate. Cut out, and he's found it back again. He's got it on a string at the moment, Christian Santich, and the referee blows for a foul. Much to the chagrin of some of the supporters here.
Yeah, just an early glimpse there of Christian Santich. We know what he can do, and just great feet in tight areas and such a good playmaker. Surprisingly strong for his size. He's obviously not the tallest player, but he's got that great balance and poise, as you mentioned, and he's got a good power ratio for, as I said, a man of his stature, and going forward on the ball, he's great as well.
Just that low centre of gravity, just seems almost impossible to knock him off the ball. Mentioned the referee just a little bit earlier. Julian Serra is the man taking charge today, and his two assistants, Adrian Lichty and Arvin Shanmuganathan. I'll say that one so you don't have to, Louis. Cockburn turned the ball over, but as Floreat looked to go forward, they play it into the feet of Julian Telles, and rather than just play the ball himself, he lets it run through his legs and a little backheel flick to Breckin Baker, just highlighting what we've been talking about so far. This game is just living up to all the hype in the early stages. Santich getting a little glimpse. Jesse Lazaro yet to really get his way into the game, but once he does, I'm sure we'll see some fireworks. He's got 9 in 9 now, Louis, in this season. He's coming into form at just the right time.
He's also works really hard defensively, Sean. I was watching the game earlier today, the one on the weekend, and he isn't afraid to track back as well. He's got plenty of work ethic going both ways, but going forward at the moment, he's right on form. Good penalty taker as well. If there's a spot kick, his name will be at the top of the list.
Well, there very well may be spot kicks if we don't get a decisive winner during the game, as Chris Saldaris rumbles his way forward into the box, and it's just Cam Edwards just put his body across, and a chance here for a first shot of the day and a goal! Oh, wonderfully worked. It's
Maranta.
Andrew Maranta getting on the end of that one. Oh, nice build-up and almost against the run of play. Cockburn doing all the early running, but there's first blood, Louis.
Oh, Ludovic boy, slide rule pass at the top of the box. Maranta, he hasn't always been in the side this year. Difficult to get in when you've got the likes of Dean Evans, but he's made his mark. Great finish, and game on.
That's exactly what you want from your new inclusion into the side. As you said, in and out of the team all year, and then just arriving at the perfect time at what you want from your midfielders when you go forward. And you said it, Ludovic, boy, what a pass that was. Just first attack in a while for Floreat, for the visitors, and they've taken full advantage of it. As Cockburn get us restarted, Araya plays it out to Daniel Santich. Looking for Cam Edwards, does well just to get a foot on it. A couple of players dive in. And Cockburn win a throw. Well, that is certainly one that has silenced the home crowd here. As Cockburn get us restarted on the far side. Galami plays it back for Santich, for Telles, and across to Baker. He's got Woodcock on the near touchline. Opts to come back inside and back to his partner Telles. Cockburn just settle things down. Really important 5 minutes now after the goal. See how Cockburn react. Obviously on Saturday we had all the things to worry about, all the permutations, the different teams and what happened up at Joondalup and how that affected the game. Today there's none of that, Louis. Winning you're through, losing you're out. Yeah,
Big game for big game players, and Christian Santich will probably be one that we know has that big game experience, and it's time for players to step up with the context and those obviously simultaneous games happening last week. Players didn't quite know Radonjic was coming up at the end, but they realised their title hopes were gone. Now it's simple. Winner takes all.
There is something to be said about cup football. Obviously, across a league season, you generally play more games and the team that wins the most. It's hard to argue. Cup football, anything can happen. And when you get two sides that have been performing like these two sides have all season, it's just a game of moments.
Interesting thing about Cockburn, I think at the start of the season we were a bit wary. The losses of Hassani Sinclair and Daniel Robinson as well, two of their main goal threats, and those two losses from any team would be felt as a turnover happens here.
It was really poor place, a bit sloppy in possession there at the back, Cockburn. A bad place to give away possession, but thankfully for them, they've come away with a free kick. Nicholas Ambrosio just lurking.
Just to go back to that point, Sean, I think they've had a great season, Cockburn, and that result last weekend shows that they can mix it with the best teams in the league away to Floreat, and they may be down here, but they obviously have the capability to fight back, and a few players in form to do so.
Yeah, well, their record combined over the two regular seasons, or the two phases of the regular season, 9 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. put them right up in the mix. Just a late surge and a really good groups phase from Joondalup tonight. Either of those sides. There's a bit of heavy work in the middle. Galami trips it over for Santage, who hits it on the volley, which drew a gasp of excitement from my co-commentator. You'd love to see a man confident in these conditions take a shot on first time like that.
Oh, definitely, and a player of his quality can pull that off, Sean. It's not one of those ones where you're wondering why he's taking that on. It's, good decision early on, and hopefully a sign of things to come.
That ball long down the left wing by Floreat, overhit. And Cockburn will have a throw. Daniel Santich. Ball in his hands. Down the line there for De Silva. Back to Santich, who hits it long and high to his brother Christian, who's playing very high up the pitch in this early stages. Certainly a lot higher than he did on the weekend and a lot higher than I've seen him. Do you think perhaps that's a tactical decision in this one?
Perhaps. It looks like they've just got the one holding midfielder, and then obviously Santich is allowed to roam and maybe put a bit of pressure on that back line as well, but not the usual 4-2-3 run. It's a bit more inverted this week, Sean.
I think having this man on the ball, Cam Edwards back in, he certainly the metronome of this side when he plays, likes to dictate from that number 6 position and wear the number 8, which always bugs me, but we'll let him get away with it. So that sort of frees up the likes of Christian Sandich, who right now is operating as a number 9 or a false 9, which is a very interesting position. I personally haven't seen him play. We'll see how it works out. It certainly worked out well. That they are behind, but was involved early and certainly one of the more likely players, it looked like, to pick a lock, as that ball forward cut out well by the Cockburn backline. Brecken Baker playing long ball down for Sebastian De Silva. He couldn't bring it under control, and Floreat will restart with a throw. Murray just toes it on. Floreat come out the near side. That ball ill-directed. Cockburn get restarted. Lazaro still been a quiet half so far from him, but getting on the ball there, and Araya looking to get something going, but the ball was cleared there into him, and Saldaris, I think it was, from close range, the arm up and handball.
Another interesting thing, Sean, the shape of Floreat without Dean Evans means that they've got a series of number 10s up forward. You've got Ambrosio, who often played as a holding midfielder last year. He's leading the line. He can score a goal and pops up with the odd one, but not your out-and-out number 9. Robbie Harding, more of a winger. But then Liam Murray, Ludovic Boy, perhaps more 10, more creative sort of players. So not your auxiliary orthodox front line from Floreat, but plenty of quality.
Well, the one thing that I mentioned on the weekend about Floreat is their spread of goal scorers. They don't have any players all season that have scored more than 5 goals, but they do have Ambrosio and Murray with 5 apiece. Robbie Harding, who's starting out on this right wing today, he has 3. Dean Evans went to 3 on the weekend, but other than that, a couple of braces and just singles all the way down. So they've spread their goal scoring out, and well, Andrew Miranda coming in, obviously that's what they were hoping from him to add to that list.
Well, you've also lost Robert Petkov in the off-season, and last year he was, of course, that number 9, played almost every single game, and I actually saw him down here tonight, so he'll be hoping they can get over the line.
Floreat looked a little promising there, but Riley Woodcock sees it out. Luke Radonich will kick things off again. Short for Tellez. Floreat certainly looking dangerous when they do go forward, and there's Julian Tellez striding through, as we've mentioned earlier, playing into the feet of Lazaro. How good is that when your centre half can just pick passes out like that? Santich coming short, in that false 9 position. Galami playing for Lazaro. He's got a bit of space and time here to take on Soldaris. Cuts it back and a left foot shot there. Not sure whether that was a shot or a cross from Riley Woodcock, the left-footed full-back cutting in. Certainly a tough one to get on goal with the ball shaping away for the left-footer.
Move of the match, though. Tellez stepping in, Santic with the turn. All your big players getting involved, and if that came off, it would have been a worthy equaliser.
They certainly have the ability to pick most of the locks that they come up against. There's been very, very few games where Cockburn haven't scored, but here's Liam Murray, the man I said gave Daniel Santic nightmares last week. He gets a shot away, it's blocked, I think, came off Tellez, and they can look to set off on a counter-attack, but the ball for Lazaro was wide and runs over the touchline. He was accompanied by Harding, and Floreat will take the throw. Chris Saldaris plays the 1-2, gets it back. And just heavy touch there from Maranta. And Cam Edwards can settle things down. Back to Tellez. It's almost like it, when he sees an opening, just flicks a switch, and that acceleration for a man of his size is almost catches you off guard, no matter how many times you see it. As Woodcock just skips inside Harding there and plays for Lazaro. He's got Soldaris for company. He does well to clear that out. Cockburn just looking to ramp up the pressure. Woodcock takes for Santic, and his pass is uncharacteristically poor for Galami. Floreat clear, but it'll be coming right back. Breckin Baker. For Woodcock. This ball has Santic interested. It goes over him, but it's fielded there by De Silva. De Silva sidesteps a couple. Looks like he might set his sights on goal. Just a foot in there, an important foot in from Palmer. And Gallen clears. A lovely touch from Liam Murray to keep possession. Riley Woodcock does really well there to win back possession for Cockburn, and here's a chance. Lazaro in a bit of space. This is where he's dangerous. He's got Woodcock outside him. Woodcock's got a chance to square the ball or take a shot. He opts for the former. And in the end, just a little too high and too strong for anyone to get on the end of it, but a good move from Cockburn.
Yeah, good weight of pass there from Lazaro. Unselfishly plays his fullback in, who was tearing forward. Unfortunately, the ball in from him, not quite of the highest order, but encouraging signs here for the home side.
Perhaps somebody's got to tell him they don't have a proper number 9. It's Christian Santic leading the line for them with those sorts of crosses.
Well, De Silva's up there, and he's come into form in this second phase with a couple of goals, but yeah, both of them looking to work their way forward and get on the score sheet.
Yeah, 4 in 6 in the second phase for De Silva.
It's classic Ambrosio. He'll win so many fouls. He's just a clever player, and we saw him in the number 9 role earlier. He's at halfway at the moment. Interesting position.
It's Robbie Harding brings that one down well and plays it for Soldaris. Looking inside there and getting away with a little shove there was Andre Palmer. Thought there might have been a whistle. Gives it back to Soldaris if he can keep it in. He does. Good cross in and headed away by Tellez. Maranta, the scorer, looking to put it back into the box, but losing out. They still maintain possession. Soldaris whips the ball in, cut out this time by Baker. Good spell of possession here from Floreat. Ball in. Here's Maranta again. Good little juggle. Looked like he was going for a bit of the Dele Alli juggle and swivel. Unfortunately, it doesn't always turn out like it does in your dreams. Santic plays that one forward for De Silva. His ball for Lazaro's a little ill-directed, but Lazaro will get it back and make it a really good weighted pass. Back for De Silva, and his little shove wins a corner.
Good recovery pace there from George Fester. Didn't look favourite, but made up the ground well.
Certainly that closing speed, and a desperate lunge was just enough. Certainly looked like De Silva was the favourite. As Riley Woodcock will jog over to take this corner. Not from Corona corner, Louis, our favourite. That's on the far side. We'll await our first corner from there with bated breath. But Riley Woodcock has it now, down in front of the Cockburn faithful. Whips that one in, back post. It's over the keeper, headed back across, and well held there by Jason Saldaris. He bowls it out. And Lazaro doing that defensive duty that you hailed earlier. Not able to keep possession. Here's Gallen for Festa. Back to one Saldaris, who'll go to the other Saldaris, Jason de Chris. Good ball for Harding. Baker lunges in, doesn't get the ball. Telles will come across the cover and does well, I thought, but just had to go through the player there. A yellow card, Louis, a little bit harsh.
Yeah, a little bit harsh there, but as I mentioned in Sambrosio, cleverly getting his body across and winning a foul. That one could go either way, but to get a yellow card, leave a sour taste in the mouth for Cockburn.
Well, no Dean Evans to take this one, of course. So we will line up Liam Murray. He is capable of these, Louis. We know that.
Yeah, last year for Perth Glory in the under-20s final, put one in the top corner. Ludovic Boy also in close pursuit, so it'll be one of the two.
It was a similar range to this as well.
Just on the other side, if I'm not mistaken.
That's why I said range and not spot. Thank you, Louis. It looks like Ludovic will leave it for Liam Murray, who goes for goal and just wide. But showing that he has that ability. It's almost no one moved. It was like the shot was completely unexpected.
Obviously a great set-piece take-up. And that one, yeah, had a few Cockburn fans a bit nervous. But a good early sighter from Liam Murray.
You're never happy for any big player in your team to be out. Certainly not your captain, but if anyone's happy, it would be Liam Murray getting to be upgraded to set pieces. You have to have a few sighters like that. It's Gallen stepping forward, heads it into feet, into a crowd. That one intended for Boy, I think, but Telles will jog over and mop it up and leave it for Daniel Santich to take the throw, which he does quickly for Telles. So a little heavy with that touch. He saw that space that he likes to stroll into, but not one of his better moments, thankfully for him. Didn't amount to too much as Cockburn looked to take over and go the other way, but cutting that ball out. Cam Edwards on the ball now. Back for Baker. A wonderful ball there from Baker into Lazaro. Both centre halves showing that ability to pick a pass. And just leaning into the back of him there and giving away a free kick.
Good first touch from Lazaro as well. Courageous play there from Cockburn. It was not the easiest position to get out of, but they managed to do it well.
I've certainly shown. Santich drops really deep to win that one and looks to spread one for Telles, but gives it away as Ludovic Boy finds Murray. He's got Telles in front of him. He's got Baker in front of him now. He tries to dance around both of them and didn't see Cam Edwards closing. He took the ball away and Cockburn can run. It looked like they were going to run into trouble, but the Floreat defender just lost his footing. And it all ends in a Cockburn throw. Here's David Araya. Wore the armband last week in the absence of Cam Edwards, and Santich just dancing around one. Out for Woodcock. Lazaro, Santich, looking to go back to Woodcock. Lazaro does well, but can't dribble through three Floreat defenders. Santich comes and puts a foot in. Floreat throw. While the rain holding off for the moment, we've heard forecasts of some brutal storms on the way, but as is often the case with Bureau of Meteorology, it's not an exact science. Louis, would you be a fan of the rain coming down, or do you want to see it stay away?
No, I'd prefer to see it stay away. I think right now the pitch is in great condition, and both teams are up.
Well, Cam Edwards dwelling on the ball there, turning it over, squaring it for Boy, who can't get a shot away, rolls it for Liam Murray, and his shot over the bar. And that really should have been 2-0.
I was just a bit behind Ludovic Boy there. He would have liked it just further in front. Did well to find Murray, but they couldn't quite find the finish.
As is so often those forays forward, that one slightly mistimed pass leads to another. Ambrosio just left Boy a lot to do. He did very well to get it to Murray in fairness, and Santic just using his small body to nudge a player under the ball intelligently. Here's De Silva, back for Lazaro. Woodcock, lovely little touch for Lazaro, that's deft. Flick around the corner, here's Santic again. He might set his sights on goal, looks to spread it wider for Galami. He'll look for Woodcock. It was almost a really good touch for him to get inside. Lazaro tracking back, as he always does, that work rate, but showing a similar work rate was Andrew Palmer. But all he could do was get in the back of him and give away the foul. Cockburn looked to play it short and almost give it away. This time Cam Edwards came to their rescue after his, we'll call it a blip in concentration earlier on. Certainly thought he had more time than he did. There's Tellez looking to just play a ball down the line into the path of De Silva, and how wonderful is that? De Silva looking to perhaps nutmeg his opponent over there. And Santa Lucia wins out, and really good positioning and defending there from Tellez, and he doesn't just clear it, he brings it down, a couple of headers, and Cockburn maintain possession. Baker striding forward this time. Woodcock in a bit of space. Square for Edwards. Another poor ball from him, cut out, but rebounds back to Cockburn. Running interference there on this occasion. On Andrew Palmer, just getting a bit of a body check on him there.
Yeah, not Edwards' best spell, but a player who receives the ball so much, he'll have plenty of time to get some positive touches, and as you mentioned, the metronome for this Cockburn side. He'll look to dictate the play, and the wrong side of his man there. Foul for Floreat.
Gallen just calling for it short. Fester opts against that and goes long to Murray, over hit. It'll be a Cockburn goal kick. It's been a funny old game, this one, Louis, apart from the goal. Hard to say which team's been on top. Probably Cockburn have just shaded it, but when they do lose the ball, they tend to be losing it in bad positions and looking horribly exposed.
Yeah, it seems as if Cockburn are earning their chances through longer spells of play, while Floreat tending to win the ball high, and that's their most dangerous attempts on goal.
Here, Floreat are again winning it in Cockburn's half. Looking to get a ball into the box, throwing himself in there. I didn't catch the player, but it was acrobatic, to say the least. Here's Santic looking to get that ball under control. Can't do it this time. As Floreat look to get forward again through Murray. Dribbles around a couple, does really well there. He's still got the ball at his feet, Liam Murray. That's magical. And that's what he was doing to Daniel Santic all Saturday. And he gets it back again. Looking to get it wide to his fullback in Santa Lucia. He can't get a ball into the box. And it comes back off him and out for another Cockburn goal kick, or perhaps an offside.
Yeah, lovely feet from Liam Murray, and encouraging to see that after the razzle-dazzle, he manages to keep the ball short. It's all well and good beating a man, but to maintain possession and create and go forward, that's why he's such an exciting prospect.
Long ball for De Silva. He wins the chest, but no support around him. Tellez just cushions that header. Stoops. He looks like a man that can do everything. Certainly showed that last week when they needed a goal. They threw him up forward. I wonder if we'll see the same thing today. Certainly with a lack of tall forward options, I would not be surprised if the score stays like this to see him further forward. But here's Santic trying to make amends for that early Floreat goal. Floreat now with Ambrosio. Looking to play it for Boy. He takes a touch and goes down, and Woodcock did dive in there and didn't get a lot of contact in the end, but I think he certainly wasn't in a position where he could win the ball.
That's a second yellow for a challenge on Ambrosio. He's great at baiting them in. Perhaps the pass left a bit to be desired, but again, he's dangerous up there, coming short. Not that auxiliary number 9, as I mentioned, having a good game so far, the number 10.
Yeah, fascinating to see at either end the traditional number 9 position being occupied by Ambrosio at one end, Christian Santic at the other end. Festa floats that one in, flicked on, and Saldaris was interested at the back, but it was too heavy for him. Get out for a corner.
I think the game's just suiting Floreat at the moment, perhaps playing on the break a bit, but they're enjoying themselves. They've got a set piece here, and go 2 up before the break. Be very handy indeed.
Boy offering the short option, Santic in pursuit. So they'll flick it in, flicked on at the near post, and a few hands were up. It looked like from here it might have found its way into the back of the net, but it's come off a Cockburn player, and they'll try again.
Oh, dangerous ball in from Murray. Thought he might have a bit of difficulty with the corner, given the fact that he starts from a bit of a higher position and has to walk down and strike that ball, but plenty of whip, and he's got another one here.
Well, Festa just standing on the toes of the keeper. They've got Harding and Miranda at the near post. It's cleared away by Edwards, out for another corner. Just the one man still up for Cockburn. De Silva standing on halfway. He'll be marshalled by Gallen and Santa Lucia. Boy again just drifting out there, just offering the option. Santic again tracking. Harding and Miranda again at the front post. Festa on the keeper. He goes long and right on top of the head of Radonjic. It was a good punch away. And this time Edwards getting out there and clearing. It comes out to Murray. Just dancing. It's just such quick feet. He's just giving Lazaro a bit to do, and Lazaro just did it so well. He stayed with him. He said, you can dance all you want. It only matters when you try and get past me. And we have a player down there for Cockburn. Louis, did you catch what happened there?
Well, you hope it's not in the unmentionables. But a man is down. He's going to have to receive treatment. Yeah, great tenacity from Lazaro, as you mentioned there. Murray looked like he lost it, then got it back, a little bit of a chop and a step over. Lazaro stuck to his task and got the block in.
Still not sure who it is down with the injury there for Cockburn.
My guess is Daniel Santic, maybe.
Well, you said hopefully it's not one in the unmentionables, Louis. As a man that's just come back from an ACL injury, maybe we hope it is just one in the unmentionables, because you can shake that off. Yeah? There's not much you can do if you've done ligament or muscle damage.
He's looking a bit worse for wear here, taking his time to get up. Yeah, not quite sure what the injury is, but he's in a bit of bother here.
It might be Christian Santic, is it? It is Christian Santic, yeah. Just looks like he copped one. Hard to see exactly what it was.
It's half right.
Yeah, you got the Santic part. You can just say Santic or Saldaris, and there's a good chance you'll get one or the other, Louis.
Yeah, if Liam Murray was playing for Cockburn, that would be another double in there, but only one Liam Murray on the pitch at the moment.
I'll tell you what, that was a commentator's dream. 2 Liam Murrays for both sides, both wearing number 19. Makes things easy. As that one long down the line, looking for the run forward. Little overhit. Daniel Santich with the throw. Has Galami down the line, has Christian Santich a little bit further. Galami looks to flick it on. Little touch on here. De Silva's touch is poor by his standards. Harding looks to fizz it into the feet there of his forward. Was that Ambrosio? He just couldn't bring it under control.
Excellent ball, though, from Robbie Harding. Fizzed right in, as you mentioned. Good vision, but a bit too much pace on it for Ambrosio to bring it down.
I think almost one that took the forward by surprise. He wasn't expecting it to be quite so well struck and so quickly struck. But it's the kind of ball you need to pick a defence with Brecken Baker and Julian Telles at the heart of it. Santa Lucia lets that one run. Just a bit of a lengthy break for that injury and not a whole lot of action aside from those corners outside of that. It's just, this one's just started to peter out a little bit as we see a long effort on goal there go well and truly over the crossbar. Cockburn just needs something before half-time, a bit of a spark. It's similar to the way the game panned out on the weekend. Cockburn came out the stronger, and that's perhaps a high foot there from Andrew Palmer, seen that way by the referee.
Courage there from the captain, obviously putting his head in a bit of danger, winning his side the free kick.
She then takes back to Brecken Baker, who's closed down quickly by Boy. But Telles in a bit of space. Plays it in for Edwards, in a crowd, and he loses possession again. And a chance here for Floreat to go forward. They do. Ambrosio looking to cut in on his right foot, get a shot away. In the end, he mops for a back heel that was creative, but poorly executed, looking for Murray. Santich coming deep, trying to win that one. And just sliding in there was Fester, I believe. That one for Woodcock. In for Lazaro. De Silva. Squaring it for Galami. And he plays it wide to Daniel Santich. Santich with the ball into the box. Cut out there by Palmer. And Galami starts again. This is better from Cockburn. Baker. And that is not so good from Cockburn. And Baker not happy with himself at all there.
Nah, not the best ball forward, but credit to George Fester about a minute ago. Big sliding tackle, and if he didn't get that one right, probably could have been in a bit of trouble himself, and also Floreat would have been under the cosh, so good strong challenge from him as their sheet remains clean.
They're always good when you time them right and win the ball. Big moment from the Floreat number 13. Saldaris gives the signal to push on down the line, where you'd imagine he'll hit this one long to the far side. It certainly does. A good boot on that one. And a good head on it from Christian Telles. Julian Telles, rather. Here's Jesse Lazaro. Just looking to turn around too. Couldn't do so. I think Robbie Harding got a toe in there. Looking for Ambrosio. Cut out by Baker. And sliding in there and winning possession there wonderfully is the skipper, Cam Edwards. That's what he's in the side to do. We've mentioned he's had a couple of bad moments in this first half, just finding his feet back from injury. And that was him at his absolute best. That was not Santich at his best, losing it, but winning it back again. It's almost like he's just out there to prove me wrong no matter what I say, Louis.
Well, one thing about Edwards is perhaps he's a bit, not isolated, but because he's that pivot, that soul-holding midfielder, sometimes he receives the ball without too much cover, and if he loses the ball, all of a sudden Floreat are on the front foot. So it's a high-risk strategy from Cockburn, and a player of that quality can play it, but sometimes if it doesn't go right, he might be in a spot of bother.
You really need to be 100% on your game to play that role in this setup, and perhaps just those couple of moments due to him being out for a few weeks. But if that latest interception and tackle doesn't just show that ability, shows that he's still got that reading of the game to pounce and spring a counter-attack. I think he was really frustrated when he did win that ball back and played a couple of 1-2s that the Cockburn attack broke down. It was his first real time we've seen him stride into the Floreat half. As Harding plays it back for Saldaris. Chris Saldaris crossed into the box. Unconvincingly there from Telles. It comes back to Ludovic Boy, who tries to shape one with his left foot. Didn't look to have too many people worried. It certainly had us a bit worried. Looked close from here.
Well, Radonic had concrete in his boots. He wasn't moving, but it goes wide from Boy. He just ran onto it so well. Everyone knows his class, former gold medal winner. The assist for the first goal. Nearly grabbed the second himself, but it goes wide.
Came off the bench in the 2-1 defeat on the weekend. Gets his start today. Certainly showing what he can do. Here's Brecken Baker. Looking for Woodcock, but sliding in and cutting that one out was Robbie Harding. Doing his defensive duties. Woodcock's throw was poorly handled there by Araya. And Edwards again sliding in. He's not going to give that one away, and then he had a player put a saddle on him. Louis, how'd you see that one?
Oh, Ambrosio, while mounting Edwards, has smacked that with his hand. That is, in any day of the week, a yellow card for Ambrosio. I think the ref has missed that. Perhaps the linesman will see it, but you can see Lazaro apoplectic with the fact that he hasn't picked that up. 100% a handball from Ambrosio, and he's just looking around, I think, thankful for there's no VAR.
Well, I'm glad I've got you here, Louis, because I missed it. And it looks like the decision's gone the right way in the end. Just a bit of a rush of blood to the head, perhaps, from Ambrosio. Woodcock will get us restarted.
Oh, he's the one player who, he's just got that, not an X factor, but he just does things a little bit differently, Ambrosio. Sometimes plays the game in an interesting way. And, interesting moment. Maranta, obviously confident from his early goal. Just settling down at the moment. Credit to Floreat's defence as well, Sean, with witnessing a fairly decent display at the back. Cockburn struggling to work things together, and that's not just down to their ability. Cockburn, Floreat maintaining a solid defensive shape and looking good for the clean sheet at the moment.
Another thundering tackle while you were speaking from Cam Edwards. He's really grown his way into the match, certainly defensively. Also had a nice bit of play from Telles and into the feet of Santic, a pattern of play that we've seen a few times so far today. Woodcock just under a bit of pressure, turning that one over. Certainly liable to do that on occasion. As Murray strides forward. He's got Ambrosio here, only Harding ahead of him in about 6 blue shirts, so he comes back to Palmer. They looked at thread one through perhaps into the feet of Murray or the run of Ambrosio. Split the difference and rolls through into the hands of Luke Radonic. Radonic will look long, but only Santic underneath it. He does really well to win that header, doesn't he, up against a much bigger opponent. And he's left the opponent on the ground. He looks to be feeling it as well. It's certainly a clash between them, and looks like the Floreat players certainly got the worst of it.
Yeah, maybe Santalucia out on the left side. Just a bit worse for wear on his haunches. Credit Santic for getting right up there for the header. I think we haven't mentioned the goalkeepers too much. You'd probably put these two in the top 3, top 4 goalkeepers in the leagues over the last couple of seasons. Saldaris and Radonic, both great custodians, and a pair of great shot stoppers on show today.
There's certainly more than one occasion I can think of both of these goalkeepers being arguably the player on the pitch. They both can put on a show when the day's right. Here's a chance for Harding. Squares it in the box, and sliding in is Ambrosio. Couldn't get a toe on it to direct it in. It comes all the way out the other side to Murray, who loves a dance. Santa Lucia fires one in. It comes back to him off a body. Araya looks to close down. Read that really well. Plays it forward for Santic. He's going to have to hold it up. He can't do so. Challenged well there by Gallen. A really good tackle.
Well, bang on cue. Radonic, just a little touch there. Bit nervous as it went on the post, but enough contact. and good early save from him. Saldaris hasn't been too busy at the other end.
A really, really good bit of play from Gallen there, with Santich dropping so deep as a centre half. You don't want to get turned, and you're definitely out of your comfort zone when you cross the halfway line, but he stuck to his task and made the tackle on the Cockburn number 22. And here's Cockburn again. Woodcock looking to feed Lazaro. Can't do so. Almost gets it back and flicked around the corner there from the goal scorer Maranta. It's Riley Woodcock out on this near side. He's cutting a really frustrated figure. I'm not sure what's got his goat up, but that's a really poor pass back there from Daniel Santich, and a chance for Ludovic Boy at the other end of it. Wonderful back heel. Chance, strike, wonderful save. Back to Boy. Back into the box, and Lazaro back doing his defensive diligence, and they eventually do clear, but a real chance there for Floreat. Tellez coming and charging out, not getting the contact that he wanted. Boy again, proving a real handful. Sliding in his Harding, and they'll make it 2-0. Again, they turn it over. Again, Floreat forced the turnover high up the pitch, and this time they make Cockburn pay.
Oh, great moment for Robbie Harding. He's come into form at the tail end of this season. He's got plenty of pace about him, great positioning there. Just slid it past Radonich. Great time to score for Floreat.
Now 3 goals in his last 5 now, and right on the half-time whistle. Louis, how does that change the half-time team talks?
Oh, massively. Cockburn obviously maybe not clinging on to the game at 1-0, but Floreat looking dangerous going forward. I think that will give them a lot of confidence and just start to frustrate the home side.
Well, it was an early goal from one of the inclusions into this side, Andrew Maranta, and then the latest of late second goals there from Robbie Harding. It means at half-time, this one is Cockburn 0, Floreat 2. Test, test. Check, check. 1, 2. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Yeah, that's okay. Well, welcome back to Dalmatnack Park for the second half of this semi-final between Cockburn and Floreat. The visitors leading 2-0 at this stage. Louis, the other game going on at the moment in Joondalup versus Perth. Perth, the winners of the bottom six against the champions, the newly crowned champions. We should really give our congratulations to Joondalup. What a season it's been for them. Yeah,
fantastic season. A couple of great players. Ethan Brooks returning after a stint with Glory in a pre-season at Gwelup. The league's top goal scorer as well, so plenty of quality on show for Kenny Lowe's side, and yeah, good campaign for them in 2020.
Yeah, what a day that was for Danny Hodgson, not just winning the league but also taking the golden boot. He scored about 3 hat-tricks, I think, in the second phase. He was absolutely unbelievable, but all our attention is here to see if Cockburn can dig themselves out from the hole that they find themselves in, 2-0 down. But they're on the front foot early. De Silva looking to just toe that one in the path of Santich. Clearance blocked by Galami, who has it at his feet now. In for Edwards in a little pocket of space. And a really poor pass and a slip, which gives Ambrosia the chance to run onto this one. He's got Baker to come across and marshal him wide. He's done well, in fact, to just get him out of that central corridor, the danger area. It was, in fact, looks like Hayden Stevens. It was the man that was pressuring me. We didn't catch the substitution at half-time, but he's obviously made a change.
I did. I should have mentioned it, Sean. Obviously, the left centre-back, a bit more blonde, longer hair, and Stevens there just in a bit of trouble. We'll see how this develops.
Well, you really should have mentioned that, Louis. Thanks very much for making me look a mug, but that's all right. We soldier on. I've done it plenty of times to myself, don't you worry. Lazaro rolling that one out to Riley Woodcock, who's got Santich coming short, and unlike him, just a really poor touch. Floreat look to go forward again. Chance to get a ball into the box, perhaps from Harding. He looks to take on his man, in fact, and Woodcock does really well, stuck to his task well, and comes away with the ball. Can't find a teammate there with the pass, but it ricochets back to Cameron Edwards again in that little pocket of space, but his ball is poor and they're going to need better than that. Didn't get around to mentioning the halftime score in Joondalup and Perth is 1-1, a level up there, so no closer to finding out who will be playing in the final. Floreat with a foot in there after that first half, and Hayden Stevens with a interesting, didn't want to use his foot on that occasion. Juggling with the knee, and Ambrosio now can look to stand Stevens up and go inside him, and can't do so. Well defended by the big Cockburn number 14. His clearance down the line cut out by Palmer, but it ricochets out for a throw. Woodcock over there to take it. Quickly into Santich, who looks to be operating from a much deeper position in this second half than he did in the first, Louis.
Yeah, obviously De Silva was up there alongside Santich, but yeah, it seems to be that he's going to screen a bit more, so Edwards isn't quite as isolated. That's just in these opening moments. I'm sure it'll be a bit more fluid.
De Silva tracking back to make the tackle there. Santa Lucia looking interested in that one. Eventually, Teles clears. So just the one change, Louis Baker off for Stevens?
As far as I'm aware, Sean, I think Floreat remain unchanged, and if you've got no injuries and it's not broke, you don't have to fix it. So good from Floreat to keep their momentum going.
Oh, just sliding in there and causing a turnover. I think was Ambrosio, was it? Just menacing in that press. And Cockburn really struggling when they try to play it out from the back. They either get through or they tend to turn it over. They seem determined to pass it out from the back. And Santa Lucia. Festa looking to play it into the feet. Oh, wonderful turn there. Sensational work from Palmer, who's got Ambrosio now. Looking to get on the end of it, but Stevens across clearing. He's started quite well.
He has. That just sort of encompasses the game so far, Sean. A ball forward from Festa, nearly cut out by a riot, and then Palmer turns and plays. It's going Floreat's way at the moment. Ambrosio not quite the quickest player. Stevens across to mop up.
Good reach around there from Teles to win the ball back for Cockburn. To Radnic, who thumps it long in the direction of De Silva, and Santic will be interested in this. He's got a bit of toe. He will get on the end of it. He's got a man inside screaming for it. It's Lazaro. He doesn't opt for the pass when perhaps he should have. Cuts back inside Festa. Fires one on his left foot and it's blocked. And not sure about you, Louis. I think he should have released Lazaro there.
Perhaps, but we have seen him at the top of the box cut back onto his non-preferred left foot and unleash a goal. So not the worst percentage play, but yeah, no forward turn for Santic there.
And he's an Ambrosio sighter. He had Murray on the near side, and Murray screaming for it this time. So perhaps, again, a chance to release when, in the end, it took the shot on goal. This one takes a deflection, out for a corner. Still yet to get our first corner over at Corona Corner. It's again on the near side. Be a tragedy to come down to Dalmatinac Park and not have one, wouldn't it?
Maybe in 2020, Sean.
Ball into the box. It's a flap at the back, and didn't see who got the final touch on it, but it's come straight back out. Murray, his cross is blocked by Edwards and eventually cleared. Santic looking to muscle his man under the ball and firing Ludovic Boy from distance. From Dean Evans' range, that one.
Struck it really well, Ludovic Boy. I'm not going to say he struck it too well because he didn't quite score. Sloppy back pass here.
A really poor pass, and Riley Woodcock, the perpetrator on that occasion. Edwards luckily alive to it to read the Ludovic Boy danger. Daniel Santic cutting that one out, but only as far as Santa Lucia. He'll play it into the feet there of Maranta again, I think it was, looking to get his second of the game. It was blocked. Boy just looking to turn it around the corner, offers his apologies for Santa Lucia. They were not singing from the same hymn sheet there.
They weren't, but Maranta picking up another great position. Little turn and swivel. Great hold-up play there from De Silva.
Santic's pass cut out by Festa. Cockburn maintain possession. Golami's got a bit of space out near us if they can find him. They do now. Surrounded by white shirts, but sidesteps. Pass Boy. Gives it to his skipper, Edwards. Plays it for Woodcock. Woodcock for Araya. And back to Stevens, the substitute. And a bit of space for Teles. What can he conjure up? Lovely ball that from Teles to Lazaro, and he's fouled.
No surprises guessing the thoughts of a few of the fans in the audience, but a good turn there from Lazaro. Festa caught a bit cold, got tight to him. Good first touch from the Cockburn winger.
Well, all the big guns over this one. It's De Silva.
Who do you fancy, Sean?
From this position, oh, it's a tough one. It's good for both the left footer and the right footer there. You'd probably opt... Oh, I'll put my stall out and say Lazaro for the top right, direct. What about you?
Let's see if him or Santic can conjure up some magic. It'd be a great time to score, really change the flow of this game and lift the home fans. Big moment here.
See what you've done there. You've made me put my stall out and have a guess, and then you've refused to have one yourself. It's called courage, Louis. Look it up. They do both look interested. It will be Lazaro. He goes bottom left. And a diving save there from Soldaris.
That's as good as a penalty save, that. That was arrowing into the bottom corner. And we said that Radonic was probably the busier keeper in the first half. Well, Soldaris has just earned his corn there. Great save.
Yeah, one of those ones that the traditional attempt on goal there is curling it over the wall into the top right corner, and trying to catch Jason Soldaris flat-footed was Jesse Lazaro, but it was more than up to the task, and what a huge save that is to keep your side 2-0 up and comfortable. Big header from Tellers. Looking forward for, I think, Liam Murray, it may be. You might have done us there, Louis. But here's Floreat looking to make it 3. Charging forward. And eventually a header comes off the defender, I think, and into the arms of Radonic via Tellers. Looking long there.
You're right, there is a second sub for Cockburn. And the second Liam Murray on the pitch, as you've alluded to.
Boy, picking out a beautiful pass for Harding. He can make it 2 for him and 3 for Floreat. And a diving challenge from the substitute, Hayden Stevens. Keeps it at 2. And Louis Greenwich, our first corner at Corona Corner.
Oh, well, Hayden Stevens got across. A player of Robbie Harding's pace. His eyes would have lit up, but he just didn't attack it with the most vim and vigour. And excellent tackle there, recovery challenge from the substitute.
Well, it will be a Liam Murray to take the corner. Floreat's Liam Murray. Right in front of the Corona extra sign. In Corona Corner. Can Corona Corner be the downfall for Cockburn? It's helped them so many times, but it will be Floreat now looking to put one of the first nails in the coffin. The ball into the box. Fester looks to flick it on. He can't clear, and Murray puts it back in, but doesn't beat the near post. We'll have our second Corona corner.
Stat A man, known in these parts very fondly, Danny Robertson, down to support his former side, and he'll be hoping they can turn things around here.
Gee, we saw him score some good goals down here, didn't we, Louis? That ball's a poor one to the front post and cleared. Santa Lucia is up to claim, and Santic very nearly picked his pocket. Diagonal to the back post. Floreat maintain possession. Maranta for Palmer. Palmer looks to whip one on his right foot. Cleared there. And a loose tackle. Certainly looked a foul to me, Louis, on Liam Murray.
Yeah, I wonder if he's hurt. A bit slow to even move, let alone get up. This looks a bit ugly for the substitute.
Yeah, it looks bad, doesn't it? When a player doesn't move, you know that there's probably something wrong. And the way he's holding his knee, it really looks bad for Liam Murray and for Cockburn. The substitutes game might be over before it's even started here. Early indications certainly don't look good. A bit of movement on the Cockburn bench, and certainly some discussions as to how they restructure if they do need to make another substitution. In fact, all the players using this opportunity now to take a drinks break. A few idiots in the crowd too, Louis, which we don't like seeing, but things look to have calmed down.
I think, obviously, taking issue with the fact that it's the substitute who's gone down for an extended period of time, but if there's an injury, there's not much he can do. I don't think there's any sort of foul play or decision to maybe get the player booked. I think he's genuinely hurt, and we'll hope that it can be a speedy recovery.
Will certainly be a foolish time for any time wasting as well. Yeah. There's no reason for him to not want this game going, and he's certainly looking very ginger as he makes his way to the bench, stretching out that knee. So perhaps in terms of structural damage, it looks like nothing too serious. And we'll wait and see. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue. It looks like they've already made the decision that Dos Santos will come on for him. And it will be the substitution as stated. Daniel Dos Santos on, Liam Murray off. Such a shame for him in such a big game.
And just coming on, Sean, as well, he was brought on at half-time. It throws a bit of a spanner in the works. Obviously one of your subs being subbed off, so things not exactly going right for Cockburn at the moment.
No, if things did go well for them on Saturday, it's certainly the opposite here at the moment. Although it didn't all go their way. They picked up that red card from Arnold, and Dean Evans fired Floreat into a position which would have won them the league title if they'd stuck there, but Julian Telles move up forward in a late Lazaro goal turned the tables, and if they got similar today, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to take it to 2-2 and perhaps penalties, as Riley Woodcock wins a header there. Edwards dropping deep, plays it back to his left back. And just sharing possession now. That certainly the press from Floreat in this second half not quite as vociferous as it was in the first, sitting a little bit deeper and happy to just let Cockburn have it a little bit at the back, soak up a few seconds.
I've been impressed with the two holding midfielders from Floreat. Obviously not the most experienced, with Miranda and Palmer in there, and I feel they're just playing not above their level, but they're really just fulfilling their potential in the middle of the park and having good games, the pair of them. Encouraging signs for the young midfielders.
Santa Lucia looks to release Liam Murray. He will get there ahead of Daniel Santic. They'll redo their battle. They've gone hammer and tongs for, well, a game and a half now. Santic tracking back there and getting a bit of a hand from Ali Ghalami. Floreat maintain possession. Here's Palmer. Soldaris looking into the feet of Ambrosio. He can't find a teammate. Santic again dropping deep, helping affect the turnover. Definitely operating almost as a double pivot here in this second half alongside Edwards. Here's another Santic in Daniel, looking to come inside and find his brother, but Liam Murray, he just doesn't want to have anything to do with the Santiches. He's ruining all their plans. Long ball there. Edwards wins in the air. There is Dos Santos pressuring. The substitute doing well to win the ball back, but poorly to give it away. Can't find Lazaro. He hasn't had much service in this second half. Striding forward there, Daniel Santic cuts that pass out. Really well done, and here is Lazaro with a bit of space. Always wants to come inside onto his left foot, and good defending to be aware of that. Just exchanging possession with Christian Santic. Daniel Santic fires at the back of his brother, and he didn't look happy with it at all. It's always more annoying when it's your brother that strikes the ball at you from close range. Here's Ghalami, fronting it wide for Woodcock. He's got a bit of time. Back for Ghalami, and Telles striding forward. Thought for a second he might have a hit, and he's given the ball away here in a bad area. A chance for Murray. Telles wanted to put a foot in, thought better of it. Probably the right move, and now he's got to stand up Liam Murray, who comes inside and just leaves him in the dust. And thankfully, he got a bit of a hand from that man that we've mentioned dropping in as a second holding midfielder, Christian Santic, but gee, that was close to 3.
Oh, if that's the one-on-one you want to see. Unbelievable pair of players, Murray and Telles, two of the chief architects for both sides, and there's another chance for Boy to run at Telles here.
Just Telles just being dragged out the one-on-ones with these nifty and nimble players. In the end, Boy tries to fire one diagonally for Ambrosio that Cockburn will take possession. Nice ball down the line for Dos Santos from Lazaro, just a little overhit. It's certainly not where Julian Telles wants to find himself out on the touchline in the fullback position, being attacked one-on-one by Murray and Boy.
No, but he did turn the ball over in that area in the middle of the pitch, and he did find himself, guess you say, a fish out of water for a little bit, but managed to stem the blood, and unfortunately for Floreat, Murray couldn't quite find that final ball. He's got a bit of pace, Liam Murray. We saw him a lot more centrally for Glory last season, and out here he's playing out on the left-hand side, deceptively quick for a player so graceful.
Oh, he's rapid. He is rapid. He left Julian Telles, obviously a bigger man and not one of the quicker players on the pitch, but very nimble, very agile, and he really just left him for dust there. You could see the speed difference when he wants to turn on the afterburners. That one comes down with snow on it, and Ambrosio can't quite bring it under. Stephen sinks it down the line, cut out by Santa Lucia. Palmer will throw it around the corner. Harding does well to win a header. The header backwards is almost disastrous. I'll tell you what, for the sigh of relief breathed by everyone in blue, the substitute, Hayden Stevens, just left that back header a little under hit, and luckily for him, Radonjic was alive to the danger, came out and punched it clear, but sign's not looking good for Cockburn at the moment.
Nah, not the best backwards header. Radonjic out quick, did really well to get a strong contact on the ball and not take out the man. I think Robbie Harding's just gone down here, scored a goal. Noah Shamaki, I think, is looking to come on for Floreat, and to me that looks like a like for like. But we'll wait and see what the confirmation is. Robbie Harding perhaps gesturing to the bench that he's going to walk off this far side, sorry. Whether he's hurt his hamstring or not, we'll find out later, but looks like Shamaki's going to come on and run in behind, which will be his game plan.
The Moses Kalau it is, number 21 for Floreat, not Noah Shamaki. I won't make the community joke that I am tempted to make, Louis. I know you know the one that I'm talking about.
I'll say I was unsighted, but either way, Harding's a bit of a loss. He's a quick player, scored the opening goal, and the substitute Kalau will hope to have a similar impact on this game that Harding has had.
Yeah, it was a good half for him, and a chance on the turn from the substitute Dos Santos. It took a nick, and Cockburn will have a corner. And they will look to halve this deficit here. Cam Edwards in some hurry to get over to the corner there and take the set piece. The ball into the box to the back post, just flicked on by Santa Lucia. It'll be another corner. I do have to forgive you for that mistake, Louis. I do have Noah Shamaki down here on the team sheet as an omission from last week's side. He's missed the last couple of weeks. Cockburn, just deep that corner and too deep over everyone. Floreat won't be in as much of a rush to take this set piece.
Now you'll see the game management come into play from Floreat here. They have taken it quickly, though.
As soon as you say that, they take it quickly, and Santa Lucia's away, perhaps catching everyone by surprise. Here's a chance for Kalau to run onto it. His first opportunity of the day, but his touch is heavy. Just leaving a little bit too much for Moses Kalau, the substitute, to do theirs. Galami takes it in a tight area. That's to flick it around the corner, and they've turned it over again. Bit of a loose ball there from Maranta. It's been a really good game from Andrew Maranta, hasn't it? Not just the goal, but doing his job defensively in midfield and getting forward when the opportunity arises, but certainly not leaving too many holes.
No, he's one of the I guess, many players from that relegated Stirling side who have found their way to Floreat and Perth. They're littered with those ex-Stirling players, and I think the goal gave him a bit of confidence in possession. You know, Shawnee's got that that good moment. He scored a nice long-range effort earlier on in the season, had a good time celebrating. Similar effort today. I think it just assured him, and he felt, no, I deserve to be on this pitch, and despite the absences, he can certainly hold his own. And as I mentioned, him and Palmer just doing really well together.
Floreat still in search of a third. Murray on that far side playing it in for Ambrosio. It stings the palms there of the keeper, and following it up was Murray, and not Murray. Didn't catch who that was.
It was Ludovic's boy who put the shot in, and he's gone down, maybe just with a touch of cramp if he's doing the old downward dog.
Back to his feet. No harm done. We do have another substitution by the looks of things. Daniel Doles, a man who will come on and replace the skipper, Cam Edwards, and this may lead to a reshuffle. You wonder if the big man will make his way forward. As we postured in the first half, he's taken the armband, Julian Telles, and perhaps will be operating from a higher position up the pitch.
Yeah, looks from this early moment that he'll be sitting in that role that Edwards was occupying, and I think knowing the fact that they need to chase these 2-goal leaders, he's going to be that pivot. He'll certainly interpret the role differently because of the fact that he has that different size and different ability, but a capable player nonetheless.
First couple of contributions, good ones, were good header forward and then bringing that ball down and playing it back for Stevens. So Doles into centre half, Telles into midfield. How will that shake things up? As Floreat look to go forward. Lazaro trying to shut Liam Murray down. A touch from DeSantos for Lazaro. Left a little wanting. And Floreat again, it's end-to-end now. It's really opening up. Hayden Stevens has got a chase. Murray switched over to that far side, and he's certainly got him for pace, but just enough there from the defender to nudge him off it at the last second. As we stop again for another substitution, I think. No, perhaps just a... No, we will have that substitution. And one of the best names in the NPL, Louis, Ben Steele, coming on.
I think he's got one of the best heads of hair as well, Sean. Flowing locks, reminiscent of a young Hernan Crespo, I would say.
Well, if he's got even a fraction of the ability of Hernan Crespo, we'll be in for a treat. And just replacing Ludovic Boy. Looks like he'll be operating out on that right, and Liam Murray perhaps moving into the hole.
Yeah, Steele sometimes plays as a fullback, so a bit further forward here. And, yeah, looking to have a big impact.
So it certainly sets the tone for Floreat. Extra defenders on. Players that you know are going to work hard and defend in all areas of the pitch. As Daniel Santich looks to feed it for De Silva. He pressures Dennis Gallen there and gives away a free kick. Time slowly becoming the enemy of the home side. They were in about this position at this time in the game on Saturday. Managed to score a couple of late second half goals to turn the tide and help Joondalup SC on their way to their premiership. But today, it's all about Cockburn. They need at least 2 more goals or their season will be over. Floreat will march on to the top 4 cup final at Dorrien Gardens on Saturday. It's Murray just dropping deep into that number 10 position ahead of Telles, and amidst the shake-up, that's going to be quite an interesting duel, isn't it, Louis? Telles and Murray in the heart of the midfield. Tellez looks to get involved there. That ball goes through everyone. Santic has got a bit of time to turn. He's got Lazaro now with a bit of space. Woodcock bombing on, but the ball from Lazaro is overhit and a let off for Floreat.
Yeah, that battle you mentioned, Tellez and Murray, it'll be very interesting to see how that goes. Both players changing positions, as you've mentioned. I think if I was a Cockburn coach or fan, I'd probably be pretty happy that the fact that Tellez is the man marking Murray. Murray's so dangerous. Tellez a competent defender. So I think whoever shades that in the closing stages of this game will have an impact on winning it.
Yeah, it's certainly a pivotal role right there in the middle of the park. We will watch to see how that unfolds. Here's Doles for Stevens, who decides to take a touch and a stride into midfield, doing his best Julian Tellez impersonation. Santic couldn't get the required touch on it, and Floreat come away with it. Palmer turns that around the corner to give the flowing locks of Ben Steele a chance to get into stride. A little bit too much for him to do on that occasion. Things will certainly open up in the final stages of this one. As Doles looks long for Santic. He's got the pace to get there ahead of Fester, but does not have the pace to get there before it runs to Soldaris. Theatrically crumpled on top of it. As Fester plays for Santa Lucia. Gives it back to Gallen, rather. And to go down the line, Tellez stepping in front, reading the play so well. Still going 1-2 with Santic. Can't get the ball off him at this stage. Eventually they do. It's Gallen that comes away with it. Plays a long ball, but Doles will field that one and get it back for Daniel Santic for a throw-in. Just bounces over the head of everyone, and Dos Santos had a chance there to perhaps set his sights on goal, but I don't think he expected it. Tellez again stepping into midfield. He's really having an impact there. Here's De Silva looking to toe it wide for Santic. Comes long down the line to Daniel Santic. A really good header across for Hayden Stevens. He's got Lazaro wide. Lazaro's ball into the box is a tasty one, and Christian Santic had all the time in the world, and he didn't expect it to come through to him, I don't think.
I think De Silva, the striker up front for Cockburn, was odds-on favourite. It was a well-shaped ball from Lazaro, who has been a bit quiet, not necessarily the fault of his own. Cockburn's forward players struggling to have a real impact, but great ball in from the wide man.
Well, Phil Arnold, wherever he's watching from, Louis, will be delighting at the 2-0 lead, and the fact that Jesse Lazaro is having a quiet second half. But here is a chance from a dangerous position. It'll be Riley Woodcock over here to take this, which suggests he'll be whipping this left foot. It's an interesting angle here for the left footer, almost one where you want to curl it at the goalkeeper and hope you get a touch on the way. That's exactly what he does. Cleared, and Liam Murray in the unfamiliar left-back position. And Christian Santic just absolutely robbing Nicholas Ambrosio's pocket there, and then giving it straight back. Chance for Steele to run now. Strides out. He's got Liam Murray in a lot of space on the left. He looks in for Kalau in the middle, who was offside, but the ball was cleared. Tellez dropping in. He's pushing further and further forward as the game goes on. Chance for Moses Kalau. Onside this time. Daniel Santic for company. Fizzes one in across the box. Well controlled there by Ambrosio. Flicks it out to Steele. Not his best effort.
No, he just got under the ball there, unfortunately. Excellent bit of wing play there from Kalau, and the touch from Ambrosio just as good. Finish not quite of that order.
Lovely dribbling there from Lazaro, making his own way back into the game. He plays it for De Silva. De Silva's got Tellez in the middle. He can't find him. It takes a deflection and Sprinting out to field that one is Jason Saldaris. And Floreat can breathe again.
Oh, my eyes lit up when Tellez went forward. I thought he was going to get them back into the game. Unfortunately, it was cut out there. Clever from Murray, just using his body well.
Just nudging Dos Santos under the ball. Flicked around the corner and a chance for Moses Kalau. Daniel Santic throws a boot at it when Kalau's head was in the area, but you really want to see your players playing to the whistle on those sort of situations. Here's Riley Woodcock. Lazaro giving him an option down the line. He comes inside. To Santos over the top to Daniel Santic, who lofts it around the corner for his brother. Gets a little shove in the back, but keeps the ball at his feet. In the end, wins a throw. Cockburn pressing. Just looking to halve that deficit. They really need a goal soon, you would think. Doles to take it. Looks long for Tellez, who takes it down, takes a touch, comes back onto his left foot, fires at goal, and well, how's the footwork there from the big man?
Oh, Cruyff turn in the area, not the area that we'd expect him to be in, but I think he's got a permanent residency up there now. He's made his way forward and he's not coming back.
Would you rather see him making Cruyff turns in the other penalty box, Louis?
Oh, he's capable of both. Excellent operator.
Good toe from Palmer out to Steele. Wonderful ball in there. It's not quite going to reach Murray. It's cut out well. To Santos, just dropping deeper, perhaps to allow for Tellez's moving forward, further forward. Here is Dos Santos receiving that cushion pass from Christian Santic. Looks to just feather it down the line. It's over the head of Tellez, but Tellez will pressure Santa Lucia, but he will be more than happy to let that one roll over the line and take as much time off the clock as they can. Floreat in the box seat here. Looking like they will be the team to play off at Dorrien Gardens, big day next Saturday. Gallen coming short for the option that I don't think Jason Saldaris was ever interested in taking, and the referee's whistle goes and gets the hurry on. So he does go long. Header one there, and second ball as well by Doles. Round for Tellez. Has Lazaro inside him, uses him now. Good turn from Lazaro, dangerous on that left foot. Not dangerous enough on this occasion, caught it well but a little too high.
Oh, you can play Tellez anywhere. Just holding the ball up, cutting inside onto the left, setting things up.
And did take a deflection according to the referee, so they take it quickly. Galami looks to flick one in, it gets through a crowd, comes back to Doles, who just didn't quite catch that one the way he wanted.
Time running out for Cockburn. As we know, they scored 2 late goals in this fixture last week, but that was when they were down to 10 men. And it looks like Floreat, as you've said, are in the box seat for this one.
Yes, not long left in this one, 10 minutes or so plus stoppage time. And another substitution. Not quite sure who we've got on our team sheet there as number 28. We'll get that information to you as quickly as we can.
Palmer coming off.
Ethan Mom.
He might have scored a late goal to make it 3-1 in the second phase. So yeah, you'll be hoping for a similar cameo here, Ethan Mom.
Doles for Daniel Santic. Cockburn still pressing. Tellez just found himself in a bit of space. Wonderful first touch. And geez, Jason Saldaris was coming out, and I think he slipped and was very grateful that Tellez couldn't get on the end of that one.
Very grateful for George Fester coming across there as well. And yeah, he's starting to have an impact.
Certainly could have been a head-in-hands moment for the Floreat keeper, but his defence bailed him out. That ball into the area is too deep over everyone, but it comes out the back post. And they maintain possession. Ball whipped back into the box. They've got a few numbers still in there. And Floreat now looking to spring the counter. Here is a chance for Mom to run onto it. He won't get there in front of Jesse Lazaro, who's doing everything he can to wrestle Cockburn back into this game. Takes a quick throw in to Daniel Santich and plays another 1-2 with him. And Stevens finds a bit of space.
You can't fault Lazaro's work ethic. All the way back there, giving everything he had to contest with the fresh Ethan Mumm. And then he's going to work his way back up and hopefully grab a goal.
Riley Woodcock operating from the right now. Dos Santos plays it out to his left back. To come through the middle here, but Santich can't hold on to it. Floreat look to spring again on the counter. Murray, little touch, and there's that acceleration we talked about. He has roasted Daniel Santich there. He's got Doles in his dust. He carries on, plays it for... Oh, offside. Offside. Played it for Kalau, but the linesman's flag stopped a wonderful move.
Oh, you just were hoping for a Liam Murray special there as Cockburn looked forward.
Woodcock playing it for De Silva. He's got Tellus in the box. Santich arriving late. Lazaro arriving even later. He wanted to take a touch and hit it with his left. It didn't quite sit for him, so he took it with his right and it's blocked. And Tellus will be out there to take the throw. He's being screamed at by his goalkeeper to stay in the box, saying you shouldn't be there. Now he does trundle his way nearer the penalty spot. The long throw headed away. Headed back in by Stevens. Another good touch from Tellez. Lazaro. For Galami. He can hit them. This one took a deflection. Back for Tellez. Little juggle and a ball for Lazaro. Just a bit of razzle-dazzle, but no end product. The seconds continue to tick away.
Yeah, great result for Floreat there. Steele sliding right in and earning his side a goal kick in the process. And the game management on for all to see from the boys in white.
Certainly beyond just bringing Ben Steele on in this second half, that Floreat team as a whole have shown a lot of steel. It's been a professional performance. It's hard to think of too many clear-cut opportunities for Cockburn across the 90 minutes. Doles takes that one. Finds Christian Santich. He's got his brother further afield. Oh, Riley Woodcock, that is, rather. Who has moved out to the right back just to confuse me. Now Daniel Santich plays it in for Woodcock, who finds the feet of Tellez. He's just as good with his feet as he is in the air. It's been a sensational performance from him. Dos Santos can look up and feather one in for Tellez! Oh, wonderful save again. Wonderful save again from Jason Soldaris. Ball back into the box. Woodcock chests it down and Soldaris again. Wonderful goalkeeping.
Yeah, great display from the man in yellow. Excellent save when it mattered most. The tide would have turned massively if Tellez managed to put that past the goalkeeper, but he stood firm. Excellent save.
Santich had to stand under that one for a long time, had it straight back up and had to stand under it again. Won the second header, but Floreat get the ball back. Doles will hope to let it run. And he does just that. And Cockburn can reload. Time running out. Stevens will stride forward. And I tell you what, Dos Santos found himself in a bit of space, but offside. De Silva, rather.
Oh, that's not ideal for the left winger. If I'm one of his teammates, I'll be screaming at him. That relieves a lot of pressure, and it's no excuse, really. It's not as if he's through on goal and he needs to gamble. He had plenty of space. Disappointing there from De Silva.
Yeah, looking right down the line as well. When you're out on that touchline, you can see everyone across in that defence. Just needed to hold his run. As you said, it wasn't like he was timing it and had to time it to perfection. He just needed to stay on side. Stevens wins a few headers there. Riley Woodcock now operating in midfield. There's been a few shuffle-ups for Cockburn in this second half. And Galami feeds it for De Silva, and now bombing on is Riley Woodcock, and getting across and just clearing that ball out about as far as they can. I think that one is a bit of a hazard for the cars on the street.
Oh, I think it's even cleared the road, Sean. He's got plenty of purchase on that.
De Silva trying to find a way into the box. Lazaro just had it snatched off his toe. De Santos tracks back and puts a bit of pressure on, but a chance for Liam Murray to show that pace, and Daniel Santich again. What can he do this time? Does well to stick to his task. Murray comes inside for Mom, back for Kalau. And the free kick given by the referee.
Yeah, cheeky little rub on the head there from Lazaro as Murray goes down. Vital tackle there from Gallen. Looked all the money that Cockburn might have had a shot on target in the box, and he slid in there. He's an experienced player, a vital player at the back for Floreat. And a great effort from the centre-back.
Yeah, just when you thought Lazaro would get a shot away, you always expect to see him popping up in those dangerous areas. He did that. Liam Murray taking his time here, and a few questions asked by the Cockburn players as to whether or not this injury is as serious as he's making it out to be. The physio is out, and I'm sure the time will be added on.
It's either a bit of an injury or some wisdom beyond his years, because he is eating into that precious time for a Cockburn comeback.
Well, the magic spray has done its job, and Liam Murray is back up to his feet. And while he's out there, Dennis Gallen says, I'll get a bit of that as well. Certainly some ironic cheers from the Cockburn faithful here at Dalmatinach Park. As Liam Murray gets the spray, gets back onto his feet, and now he's up awaiting his chance to get back onto the pitch, as Ben Steele is just happy to take this one over to the corner. All the gamesmanship is on display here, Louis. And they lose the ball here. Stevens can clear down the line. Just looking to flick that one around the corner is Woodcock, and no one there. Crunching header on this occasion again from Stevens. And going down very easily there was the Floreat player. Referee not interested. Stevens up to take the quick throw. They know time is of the essence now. Christian Santich just looking to get it forward, and every Floreat player just looking to thump it as far as they can. We've already lost one ball.
Yeah, that's the modus operandi for these closing minutes. And I think Floreat will be very happy if play will continue like this. Clearances and getting it down the corner flag. Even at 2, Sean, that's why this side has won plenty of silverware over the years.
Long ball from Radnich, flicked on by Tellez, back into a dangerous area, but all the numbers flooding forward and leaving that big hole in behind for Maranta to mop up. Into the path of Ethan Mom. Stevens gives it back to Radonich and gave him a bit of a job to do. Under pressure from Kalau, the 2 substitutes providing that fresh running up front. And you would suggest that is almost all she wrote now for the hosts.
Yeah, a bit of movement in front of us, as I think a few people share that sentiment, Sean.
Not long left. We will see how long the referee adds on for stoppages. But aside from the Liam Murray injury, there hasn't been too much. So not one that you would expect 6 or 7 minutes. Probably just the 3 or 4 in terms of additional time on top of the 90. And Floreat just happy to keep it in the corner, at the risk of perhaps a foul throw there. But Maranta turns it over. Here's a chance. They can run. They've got a bit of space. Tellez streaming forward. De Silva out near us. Looks to take on his man. He goes wide. Comes back onto his left. Digs the ball into the box. Tellez again. Freeze. Had the impact that they wanted going forward, but just hasn't found the back of the net, Louis.
It's difficult there. He's almost attacking the ball and trying to generate the power, flicking a header. Not the easiest chance in the world. And that could be curtains for Cockburn.
certainly looking that way now. It would have been a hard man to say that Floreat would have deserved to finish top after the first phase, miss out on the last day, and then not even make the top 4 cup final. So over the course of a season, you would say they've deserved it. Over the course of this 90 minutes, they've certainly deserved it as well.
Yeah, they've just won the ball in areas, high areas of the pitch, and Cockburn haven't really got going. This man on the ball, Lazaro, such a quality player. Santic as well, haven't really had their best night. So Floreat edging it, that's for sure.
And not the best touch there from Galami, ceding possession, but Santic reading it well to get down the line and field that clearance. Had a good tackle there from the substitute and winning it back off Santic, and a Floreat throw, which again, they will be in no hurry to take.
Yeah, great defensive work there from Kalau. That's what him and Steele were arguably brought on to do, play forward and track back. So, job done for him.
So the throw is taken down the line, it comes back and is just hacked. Back out of play. Stoppage is the order of the day now for Floreat. Any header they can get out over a line, over a fence, over a bush, they'll be more than happy with. Doles with the throw. Battling for it there, Galami. And winning possession, which they take quickly. Chance for Tellez. Has Daniel Santic out near us. Chance for him to attack at Liam Murray. Rolls reversed. And Murray showing he is more than capable of being a thorn in the side at the other end of the pitch. In for Woodcock. For Tellez, who comes out in his right and has a good hit, but it's blocked by the Floreat defence. Murray now looking to go the other way. Has it taken off him by Dos Santos. Woodcock going forward, looking to slide it into the path of Tellez. Clearance into a Floreat player and back into the arms of Saldaris.
Wondering if they had Tellez up there the whole game, Sean. What that might have eventuated with. Of course, he's a fantastic defender, one of the best in the league, but he's created as much chances as anyone in a Cockburn shirt, and he's been up there for probably 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, certainly interesting to see him, the impact he had on Saturday as well, and the impact he's had in this second half is certainly a selection dilemma, but not looking like a selection dilemma that they're going to have to worry about for another 3 or 4 months at least, as this ticks towards a Floreat win and the end of Cockburn's season. It'll be disappointing for them to end with no silverware. And it's been one of their best seasons in recent times in terms of performances, in terms of the football that they play. But it sadly does look to be coming to a close. Here's De Silva trying to fire a shot in. Obviously, on the flip side of that, Floreat will be absolutely delighted as the referee blows his final whistle. Floreat do march on to the final on Saturday at Dorrien Gardens. They win this one 2-0. Louis, final thoughts from you?
Deserved winners. Won the ball high, won the ball in dangerous areas. Cockburn worked their way back into the game, and it was too little too late as Floreat march on.
Well, it was an early goal from the inclusion. Andrew Maranta had the performance that and the impact that he would have wanted to have coming into this side, and certainly put his name forward for a spot in the team in the final. And Robbie Harding it was, scoring right on the stroke of half-time and giving Cockburn a lot to do. Julian Tellez went forward and made a few headaches for the Floreat defence, but couldn't find the back of the net. Floreat march on to the final. It ends here at Dalmatinac Park in the semi-final. Cockburn 0, Floreat Athena 2.